I don't know if it's just me, but do you ever catch yourself searching for photography tutorials, inspiration, or just BTS, and then you get a bunch of results from people saying, this is how I made a crap ton of money with photography videos instead? As a freelancer, I'll admit these people started really getting into my head because I started wondering why I'm not making a crap ton of money. I started questioning the value of my work, my own value, and worst of all, it just made me lose track of why I got into photography in the first place. I actually went down a rabbit hole of consuming these type of videos, and then it hit me. These people are just selling courses to add to their income. I get it. I'm not knocking it. Everyone's got to make a living, and many people want to turn photography into their main hustle. In my case, I'm just a tech nerd who loves photography, videography, and I do it as freelance work as a side hustle to exercise my creativity. I'm fortunate enough to make a decent living to provide for my family and still indulge in this creative process doing both paid and even spec work. So that's why in today's video, rather than preaching about finances, I figured I'd give you all some insight on how I set up a Juicy Couture based shoot, captured both photo and video along the way, and I just hope that it inspires you to go and do some shoots the same way it put me back on track as well. Like I mentioned in one of my prior videos, I like to prep and get some inspiration together prior to doing any of my shoots because it helps me stay on track and not waste my time or the talent's time on the actual shoot day. I've been on sets and photo shoots where there was just no general sense of direction, which led to very long days and a lot of wasted time, all which could have been avoided if the people involved were prepared in the first place in advance. That's why the first step for me prior to any shoot is just the visual preparation itself. I put together visual boards in apps such as Milanote, OneNote, Instagram, and even Pinterest as a reference to what inspires me. These visuals help me brainstorm wardrobe, makeup, poses, models, lighting sets, all which can be applied to both photo and video. After I've decided on some visuals, I usually reach out to some talent to see if they'd be interested in doing some of the shoots with me, brainstorm, and toss ideas back and forth to ensure we're both getting the most out of our time. Now, for those of you who are unaware, I would also recommend having the models and the talent sign some type of release form just to ensure that you're able to share the produced content without any legal issues. I'm not going to go into full details, but there are hundreds of forms and templates out there, or you can even seek legal consultant that basically you can use to help develop a release form. The reason I recommend this is because sometimes the talent don't mention that they are represented by an agency or another business, and I've had situations where after we did an entire shoot, I wasn't allowed to distribute any of the work because of reasons like their agency or their representative wanted to review it first, the models wanted the raws, and all sorts of random variables that I've encountered over the years. So basically, just have them sign a general release form saying that you both agree this is independent work and you're allowed to use the final product in any shape, way, or form, and just get that out of the way. Once you get through this hurdle, you can focus on the actual shoot. In this shoot in particular, I worked with Rachel, who is a lovely model that already had some great ideas. Once I showed her the visuals that I had in mind, we agreed that a Juicy Couture inspired shoot would be both fun and beneficial to our portfolios. Luckily, she already does her own makeup and we had some outfits already ready to go, so we decided on 3 outfits, which consisted of a blue, white, and pink tracksuit. Because she already had this down pat, it meant that I needed to do my part, which leads me to the part that I'm responsible for: gear prep. I wanted to shoot both photo and video, but I made sure we prioritize photography first and videography second. This way I don't half-ass the process, I stay on track, and I'm courteous of her time as well because we are working together collaboratively to just get this all done. For the sets, we shot it all indoors in my studio, utilizing both my paper backdrops and these beautiful stairs in my building space to give us some variety. As for the lighting, I wanted to test out these Viltrox RGB tubes, and we decided that the pink tracksuit would look best for this set on the white backdrop, which would also absorb and reflect the light from the tubes. For the white tracksuit, we decided that the building stairs would make a great backdrop because much of it was already a rustic and wooden design, which complemented the outfit. As for the blue tracksuit, we decided to use a white paper backdrop to let her makeup and the outfit shine, keeping it simple but sharp. Both of these sets were lit using my mix of strobes, which consisted of the Godox 8600 Pro and 2 Flashpoint 400 R2s, which were all connected to my Godox X Pro 2S receiver. As for the camera, I shot all the photos with my Sony a7R5 simultaneously with a mix of Per Gear and Nextorch CF Express Type A cards for speed, reliability, and backup. For the lenses, I used the Canon 50mm f1.8 with the Sigma MC11 adapter for the pink tracksuit and RGB light setup because I knew true constant lights just don't give out as much output as strobes do, so this will allow me to shoot wide open in order to let in as much light as possible, while letting me keep my ISO low to reduce the image noise. For the white and blue tracksuit, I used the Tamron 28 to 75mm lens, mainly mixing between 35mm and 50mm at f4 with the shutter of about 1/160th, so that my images were sharp since the strobes are going to give me more than enough light. As for the shooting process itself, like I said, it's a collaborative effort, so we tried out different poses, angles, moved some lights around, and basically kept it fun while engaging. Thankfully, Rachel was a natural, very enthusiastic, and the shoot went very smoothly. At the end of each photo shoot before the wardrobe change, I used that as an opportunity to shoot a small fashion film to accompany the photos and to test out my new CROE 20mm t1.8 anamorphic autofocus lens. I paired this with my FX3 along with my field world monitor to de-squeeze the anamorphic playback in real time, all of which was powered by my newer V-mount battery. I won't go into full details on my rig, but if you want me to break down my small rig, let me know in the comments down below and I can make a dedicated video breaking down my minimalist setup. I also used my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to get into tight spaces and get some gimbal shots that this rig would be too heavy to set up for. With this combination, I was able to make a short film inspired by our shoot, and I even used my Osmo Pocket 3 to record some of this behind the scenes footage that you're seeing right now. In the end, we were able to get some great photos, we made a fun video, and I learned a lot as well from a technical and a practical perspective. This shoot reminded me that the gear is important if it's practical, you have a vision, and people to help you execute it. This CROE anamorphic lens's autofocus helped me pull focus and get shots that I would have never ever dreamed of. I'm also addicted to this anamorphic look now, so much that I got its bigger sibling that I'm shooting on, which is the CROE 40mm anamorphic lens, which I'll do a review at some point. Instead of rigging up a large gimbal, this Osmo Pocket was so easy to use and produced such great image quality that I was able to mix it with the FX3 anamorphic footage seamlessly, and on the photo end, I was able to try out some more 3-point lighting setups. We tried some top-down shots, some on-ground shots, and basically just had a lot of fun experimenting and getting these cool creative looks. Sometimes with paid work, you're not granted much flexibility or creativity because most clients want them or their products represented in very specific ways. With spec shoots such as this, it's nice to be able to just stretch the creative muscle, get outside of the comfort zone, and most of all, just shoot and have fun. In the end, I was able to test out some gear, create some cool stuff, and Juicy Couture even featured Rachel on their IG, though they didn't use our pictures for some odd reason in their post. For what reasons? I have no idea. If there's anything to take away from this video, just remember to keep on shooting, keep creating, and just have fun with what you got. I know I have a lot of gear, but honestly, none of this is really necessary as long as you have a camera and a lens. Even if all I had was a camera and a lens and a model, I would still just figure out some cool ways for us to create amazing photos and just test the gear out and experiment, including videos. I think in today's day and age, we're too obsessed with gear and making money with it that we often forget that we should be constantly shooting and flexing our creative muscles. If you want to fight about gear, I just recommend going working for the actual brand, stand at their booths and defend and attack yourself from there. If you want to make money, get the reps in first, build your portfolio, and then work with a business person or a actual business to help you come up with a marketing strategy and get yourself out there. As for me, this shoot was again just a reminder of why I love photography, why I love videography, and most of all, why I love shooting, and I hope it inspired you to go do a shoot of your own as well. Now, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you go do so, and if you're interested in any of the gear that I just used, the links are all down below, and it would really help support this channel. But until next time, it's been fun. I hope you found this video helpful, inspirational, and if you did, let me know what your next shoot theme is going to be. It's been fun. I really gotta get out of here because it's late, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, yo.